38 kilonewton per meter, and so this beam has a cross section of this shape. So the cross section of this beam is like this. It's a rectangular beam with 4 reinforcement rods. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So 4 reinforcement rods of diameter 25. So the depth of this beam till the centroid of this reinforcement is 655 millimeters, and the breadth of this beam is 300 millimeters. Okay. We also are given some more data, which is the concrete is M20 and the steel grade is Fe415. Okay, these are the data given to you. Now, what we want to find is we want to find what are the stresses in steel and concrete. Okay, so this is the question that is given to us. We have a simply supported beam of 7 meters, length 30 kilonewton UDL, and this is the size of the beam and the reinforcement, and the grade of concrete, grade of steel. So these things are given, and we want to find what is the stress in the concrete, maximum stress in the concrete, and the stress in the steel. Okay, so this is what is given to us. So you will be using something known as concept of transformed sections. So basically what this thing tells you is, so if you remember in the last class when we were dealing with this working set method, I told you concrete till the neutral axis you can consider concrete, and below that you do not consider any concrete. And when you come to the level of steel, you convert the steel into an equivalent area of concrete. Okay, in terms of your, by using your modular ratio, which is nothing but the Young's modulus of steel by, no, very simply speaking, it is this. Okay, so in terms of this, you are going to transform this beam into something like this, which is a concrete on top, and below you just have you have some area of steel. You are converting the area of steel into an equivalent area of concrete by using the modular ratio. Okay, so this is the concept which is going to be used for doing this problem. Now let's get into the problem. First thing we want is what is the maximum bending moment. What is the maximum bending moment for this? How do you find it?
So
W
L square by 8.
Very good. WL square by 8. So make sure your units are all consistent. So this is in W is in kilonewton per meter, length is in meters, and divided by 8. So what do you get? What is the answer?
232.75.
So for us, since this is a design course, let us not worry too much about decimal points. Get the nearest round number. Okay, let's say 233 kilonewton meter. Next thing you want to know is you want to find one value known as sigma CBC. So you don't find this. If you remember, if you don't exactly remember, if you don't have a code book with you, just divide this grade of concrete by 3. Or you can go to IS 456, open Annex B, and you can get these values in your IS 456. So sigma CBC for M20 concrete. Without looking at the code book, can you guess? The maximum permissible compressive stress in concrete due to bending. What do you think it is? Without looking at the code book.
6.6. So like 1/3 of
1/3. So how much can you take?
7.
7. Take it as 7. Don't take 6 point something and all. So in many cases, you can either write Newton per millimeter square or M, capital P and A, megapascals. So then similarly, permissible stresses in steel also you need to know. This you cannot guess. Better to open the code book, or you can just remember the values. Okay. So for Fe415, sigma st is always 230. Okay, this is not something you can do by do something like divide by 3 or something like that. That all you cannot do. So you just have to open the code book, or you need to know. Now the next thing we need to know is what is this? So this is the neutral axis. You want to know from the top how far is this? Okay. So if the whole depth, not the whole depth, if the till the reinforcement, if the depth is d, let us assume that this is kd. Okay, small k and small d. Okay, let us just assume it to be that. So position of neutral axis is needed to know. The next thing we need to know is this, and we'll say this is equal to kd. Okay, it's equals something k times d, and we want to know what is k. Okay, so what you will do is you will just be equating equate the moments of concrete and steel about the neutral axis. So how do you do this? So you know this is the position of the neutral axis, this dashed line. So this is B. This depth is x. Okay, so the area of this concrete is bx. Okay, and from the neutral axis to the centroid of this is x by 2. So this is x by 2. So you say bx into x by 2. This should be equated to the equivalent area of the steel. Okay, the equivalent area of the steel is, because of the modular ratio, equivalent area of steel is m into as. Okay, that is the area. So m into, or let me say as or ast, anything you can use. Ast is also fine. M into ast into, so here to here is d, here to here is x. So this remaining is d minus x. Okay, so this you can do. So now you have a quadratic equation. This is quadratic in x, and you can solve for x. Only thing you do not know right now is what is this m. So there's a formula for this m, which is to be used always for concrete. Okay, for reinforced concrete, you always use one particular formula for m, which is given by 280 divided by 3 times sigma CBC. So this is a formula you have to remember for working stress method. Modular ratio of any given grade of concrete is 280 divided by 3 sigma CBC. So now what is m? 280 is the constant, 3 is the constant, sigma CBC is 7. How much do you get for m?
The 13.
How much?
13.
13 point. This is given decimals. This you can give this 13.33. Fine. Now everything is there. B is, how much is breadth of the concrete? How much is B?
300.
Let me go a little bit up. How much is B?
300.
300.
300. How about X you need to find? How much is D?
655.
655. Then area of steel how much? So the clue is 4 numbers of 25 mm. Always this notation means how many number of bars. Phi stands for diameter. Okay, phi or y. Sometimes they'll use y instead of phi. Anything will be there. I generally use phi. Okay, so 4 numbers of 25 mm diameter bars are there. So what is the total area of the bars? Just simple geometry.
7853.98 mm.
Okay, Come again, how much?
7853.98.
So 4 number bars into area of 1 bar is how much?
5 into
5
25.
into 25 square, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, how much do you get for this?
So 1963.5.
1963.
963.
So the AST is also known. So now you have 300 and this is x squared by 2. This is what you have to find. M is 13.33. AST you just found 1963 into D is 655 minus 6. So this is a quadratic equation. I'll give you some time. Try to get what is x.
Sir, area of steel we have to multiply with 4, no, sir, again.
No, it's already multiplied. See, 4 number of bars into pi by 4 into 25 square.
Okay, okay.
Oh. So since you have a calculator, just simplify that equation and input it into the calculator. Yeah, anyone found what is x?
So 261.875.
Okay. Someone else? Anyone else also gets the same answer?
Yes, sir, same answer. 260.
261. Okay. Okay, so this is x. So we can also find out the factor k. So this is kd, meaning that k is nothing but x by d, or 261 by. So how much is this factor k?
0.4.
0. Give me 2 digits.
39.
2 or 3.
0.39.
Okay. So k usually give 2 digits. Don't restrict to 1 digit. It is k. The neutral axis factor. The k is known as neutral axis factor. So that factor, no, unless you give 2 digits, you will be incurring a huge error when you design your beam and all. Okay, so neutral axis factor should always be at least 2 digits, 2 decimal points at least, 2 significant digits to be very precise. So there's another alternate method to find this k using a formula. So for that formula, you use some quantity known as rho, which is nothing but. So just for your convenience, I'm teaching this. This is nothing but AST by BD. So 1963. B is 300, D is 655. What is this number? This is an alternate method.
So 0.0099.
0.009.
0.009.
Another 9. Okay. So if you are able to remember this, you can use this formula to find k. It's given as nothing but 2 rho m. M is this 13.33 molar ratio plus rho m whole thing square, and outside the square root we have rho m. So if you want, you can use this formula. So just verify that you get almost similarly 0.39 with this. Maybe you may have, okay, let's see. Do you get something close for K?
Zero 0.39 only.
0.398.
Yeah, I get something very similar now, so that's fine. So this and this are quite close. So you can say that if you are comfortable using this to find, you can find it, or whether if you are more comfortable remembering this concept and then solving, you are allowed to do that as well. So whichever you want, you can do. Anyway, this is not the end of the problem. We still have quite a way to go. So we have only found out what is nuclear access factor, or the location of the nuclear access we have found, which is 261 mm. This is the only thing that we have found till now. We are also interested in knowing something known as balanced position of DNA or the nuclear axis. So if you remember from the previous class, I talked about 3 failures. One is compression failure, tension failure, and balanced failure. So I told you that balanced failure means the concrete crushing and the steel yielding will happen at the same time, at the same load. If it is a compression failure, what will happen is you have given too much steel, so the concrete will crush while the steel will be, it will not have yielded. Tension failure is the opposite. You have lesser steel, so your steel would have started to yield, but only later will the concrete crush. So you have these 3 cases. So in that, this balanced case is something which limits whether you're going into tension or whether you're going into compression failure. So it's always useful to know what is that corresponds to the balanced failure. So in order to have a balanced failure, where should the neutral axis lie? So that is another thing that you are interested in knowing. So this is also given by a very simple formula. One thing you can always remember is this 280 is a common number. Whether you can always remember this number 280 and this number 3. So this is given by nothing but 280 by 280 plus 3 sigma st. Okay. So there's 2 ways to remember this. Molar ratio is 280 by 3 will be common, and in sigma you will have CBC. But when you want to find out the balance position of neutral axis, you have 280 and you have 3. But instead of sigma CBC, it depends on the grade of steel. Modular ratio depends on grade of concrete. Position of the balanced neutral axis depends on grade of steel. So that is one difference that you can remember these 2 formula by. Okay. So sigma st is shown somewhere above. How much is it? 230 Newton per millimeter square. So using this, you can find out what is kb. How much is kb?
So 0.29.
0.289 or 29, okay, whatever. So this is what we get. Now, which is greater? Is K greater or is KB greater? This or this? Compare this and this, which is greater?
K.
K is greater than KB. Meaning that the beam is actually having its neutral axis to be its neutral axis is actually below the neutral axis is actually below the position where it should be if it is to be balanced. Okay, so K is greater than KB, and if you remember, maybe that probably I'll just share that PPT for 1 second. Just a second. Yeah, so probably just 1 second. I will quit sharing this and share the other one. Rajanish Meena, your house video is on. Everybody is looking at who is speaking, taking something from you. Please turn off your video. I can see somebody climbing on some shelf in your house. Rajanish Meena. Okay, please just ignore the video. Okay, now here, looking at this picture. Okay, come back to my slides. Okay, are you able to see my slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now your K is greater than KB. By looking at this picture, what failure do you think it is? K, I mean, K or KB, neutral axis is the point where this triangle actually cuts the vertical line. So here, this point is K, balanced failure. Where is KB? Sorry, this is KB, this balanced failure point, which I am showing a laser pointer. Okay. So this point is where KB lies, balanced failure.
Tension failure.
Tension failure, sure. How about K? K is, yeah, K is no greater or smaller?
So the steel is like lying above that. So it has to be like tension failure.
No, okay. So you see the CB over here. So there's a letter CB over here. Where is it measured from? It's measured from the top. K and KB are measured from the top. KB is 0.29. K is 0.39, I suppose. Okay, 0.39. So should K be below KB or above KB?
Below, sir.
Should be below. So if here to here is 0.29. So 0.39 means it should go even further down now. So it corresponds to what failure? This beam
Compression failure.
corresponds to compression failure. So anyway, I'll repeat it. So KB is the balanced position of the neutral axis. This is always, all the position of the neutral axis is always measured from the top. Okay, from the compression fiber rather. So when coming from top to bottom, if we identify the balance failure to be this particular point, and the actual K for the given beam is lying below, or if the value is greater, that means it is below it. So that corresponds to compression failure. Instead, if you had calculated K to be something like 0.25 or 0.26, meaning that it's lesser, meaning that the value is lesser than KB, then it would be lying above and it would be a tension failure. Okay, so this is a compression failure. I no longer need this. I'll go back to OneNote. Okay, so OneNote is visible again, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this will be a compression failure. It's also known as a over reinforced section, meaning that it is having too much reinforcement and therefore it is going to compression failure. Okay, so this is just an additional point. Now coming to finding the stresses. Okay, now compression failure means which fails first?
Concrete, sir.
Concrete fails first if it's compression failure. So failure of concrete fails first and reaches its permissible capacity or reaches sigma CBC, which is nothing but 7 Newton per mm square. So according to working stress method, this is what we define as maximum permissible capacity of bending in concrete. Okay, this is what we define. So therefore, we have this and we can find out what is the compressive force. Compressive force. So for this, I may have to draw. So this is okay. Compression below steel is tension. This is your KD. Okay, this is 7 Newton per millimeter square. Okay, this is stress over here. So to find out the total compressive force, you just multiply the area of this triangle by the width of the beam. That's it, very simple. So compressive force is nothing but, so half of, because it's a triangle, you have half. breadth which is B, this is depth which is KD, and then the stress which is sigma CBC. Okay, so half times 300 times KD is 261, which we already found above, times 7. So how much is this? How much do you get?
So
27405.
How much?
274050.
27
4050.
2050.
Yeah, 4050.
4050. Okay. Others also get the same.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, or we can just say this is in newtons or about 274 kilonewtons. Okay, but anyway, let's retain it in newtons itself. Now to find stress in steel, to find stress in steel or FST, okay, we use equilibrium, meaning that compressive force should be equal to the tensile force. C equal to T, which implies this 274 is the compressive force, no? 274050 should be equal to tensile force is nothing but, see, we have the total area of steel. Okay, so how do you relate the total area of steel with the stress in steel? Total area of steel 1963 is there. So if you want to make a conversion between force and area, what is the relation? What do you relate it with? Force and area.
Sigma into area, sir.
Sigma area gives you force. So that's the thing. So FST into 1963. Okay, this gives the total force in steel, and from this you can get FST equals 274050 by 1963. How much do you get?
Sir, approximately 139.60.
Okay, 139.6. Sorry, okay. Others get 139.6.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is how you find it. Also, for this also you have an alternate way, which is by a formula. So this is by using your modular ratio. Okay, which simply says FST equals M FC. FC in the sense stress in concrete. Okay, so into 1 minus K by K. Now your only confusion will be what to use for FC. Okay. Now see, FC means whatever is the stress in concrete for the load that you are considering, whatever is the stress for the concrete. It just so happens for us in this case that the stress in concrete is equal to the permissible itself. Okay, because we have a compression failure or an over-reinforced section, our stress in concrete will be the same as sigma CBC, meaning that the stress in concrete has reached its limit. So yeah, so whenever I say FC and sigma CBC, whenever I say FC equals sigma CBC, it means concrete stress has reached its limit. Okay, and this always happens when you have a compression failure. Alternately, if it was a tension failure, that means the stress in our steel will definitely be equal to sigma ST. Okay, so these are two things that you have to remember, because now when you look at this formula, you may be confused. No, you may be thinking you don't know what is the stress in concrete, but it is not like that. You know that the stress in concrete should be equal to 7 because it is a compression failure and a over reinforced section. So in this case, FC is sigma CBC itself. So anyway, M is 13.33. FC, which is equal to sigma CBC in this case, is 7, and K we found is, how much was K? 0.39. Okay. 1 minus 0.39 by 0.39. How much do you get? How much is this?
141.13.
Yeah. So if you had used more decimals, you maybe be getting a closer number to this. So we make some small changes to the decimal point, significant digits and all. No? So that's why all these things. 141.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So depending on all the significant digits and all those things to use in all the steps, this will come closer. But okay, we can see that it's right. Okay. And also you can find out allowable. If you want to find the allowable load, allowable moment. Okay. So in general, how do you find moment? So this is compression, this is tension. So you have a lever arm. So always, a pair of forces times the lever arm will give you a moment couple, which in this case is a moment for the beam. Okay. So that is what you can do. So this is the lever arm. How much do you think this lever arm is? How do you find this lever arm? By the way, this is the centroid of this triangle. And this whole depth is D. So how much do you think is the lever arm? What is the formula for the lever arm?
So D minus KD by 2.
D minus KD by
2.
By 3.
2 by 3. It's a triangle.
Ah, yes, sir,
Okay.
by 3.
This will be KD by 3. So this remaining distance is D minus KD by 3. So just multiply one of these forces, the force which forms the couple by the lever arm, that's it. So that will give you allowable moment. So M allowable equals, so the force you already know, we found out somewhere above. Okay, 274,050. Or I'll just write the whole thing again. So what was it? It was half B into KD into sigma CBC. Sigma CBC. So this is what you had for the force, half into B into K into sigma CBC. Now times this D minus KD by 3. So anyway, this has already been found. This part you already found it. It is 274,050. D is 655. KD is 261. Okay, so that's it. So just multiply this and till what comes. So whatever answer you get, please, whatever you get will be in Newton millimeter. Please convert it to kilonewton meter and tell me. So the conversion is divided by 10 power 6. That will give you kilonewton meter.
So 155.66.
Okay, others?
Same. Same.
Yes? Same?
Yes, sir.
Okay, about 156 kilonewton meter. So with this also you can find out allowable load also. So which is basically the reverse of WL square by 8. Okay. So M 8 into M allowable by L square. So 8 into 156. This is in kilonewton meter, no, so let it be that itself by 7 square. So you'll get about okay. So actual allowable is only 25.5. So for this beam, it has actually been applied 38, meaning that it's been given a load more than what you can actually give it safely. Okay, so you can just say this beam is not safe for the given load. Okay, so just like this. So one more problem just for your practice will do. This will not take that much time. It's a shorter problem. Okay, so if at all we run out of time, I'll just tell you what to do and ask you to do it at home. So this beam is we have beam and reinforcements are of different size. So these two are two numbers of 28 diameter, and these two are two numbers of 25 diameter. Okay, doesn't matter. Anyway, finding the area only will change. 350 breadth, and till this point it is till the reinforcement it is 670 mm. Okay, so same thing is asked. Find FST, FC, and M allowable. Okay, same process. And yeah, grade of concrete and steel is M30 and FE 500. Okay, more practical. These days M20 and FE 415 is almost obsolete. So M30 and FE 550 itself is the norm these days. 500 itself is getting extinct. So yeah, M30 sigma CPC is how much?
10.
10. Very good. Sigma ST for FE 500, you can open the code book. You will see that it is equal to 275 for FE 500. Okay. So, oh, sorry. Actually, one small change. The 670 is, it's not 670. $670 is still the end. Okay, so meaning that so there's something known as clear cover. I'll talk about this a little bit later. Okay, so I'll just write this down. But when I cover limit state method, I'll tell you what this clear cover and all those things are. So it's effective cover. So I'll just write it down. Don't worry about it too much now. This is oh. This is okay, this is the D which we have to use. All this step I'll talk about later when I come to limit state method. Before that, I don't want to confuse you with cover and those things. I think you would have heard of cover, no, in concrete technology, what it is. You heard of cover and all?
Yes, sir.
So you know what is the use of it and all, you know, no, why it's given and all.
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Anyway, how to take the cover and all, I'll cover when I do limit state method. Okay, so the next step is finding AST. We have two numbers of 25 and two numbers of 28, so that's what I've written here. So in fact, I'll just do it very quickly so that because we are running out of time, so you can just keep writing with me. So this area comes 2213 mm square. So next we want to find the molar ratio. Molar ratio, what is the formula? Look at the previous problem and tell.
AS by EC.
No, the one which I used for finding
280 by 3 series.
280 by 3. Okay. So 280 by this will be 30. It comes about 9.33. So one thing you should remember: whenever your grade of concrete increases, molar ratio will go down. And similarly, you can also find a KB. Formula for KB, what is it? Balanced motion of neutral axis.
280 divided by 280 plus 3 into sigma ST.
Very good. 20 plus 3 sigma ST. So our sigma ST this time is 275. And when I do this, I get balanced motion of neutral axis 0.253. So if you remember previously for Fe415 we got 0.29. When you move to Fe500, it has become 0.253. So once again, just like molar ratio will decrease if concrete grade increases, when steel grade increases, position of the neutral axis will go up, meaning that it tends to become more what to say? It starts to go a little bit more up. Then finding out the actual position of the neutral axis, which is K. So for finding out K, as I told you, you can use both cases. You can either you can use that you can either use this and find out what is X, or you can use the formula, which is 2 rho m plus rho m square. Rho is nothing but the ratio of steel. Okay, so you can use this or this, whatever you feel you want to use, you can use. Okay, so anyway, if I use this, rho will come something. Okay, it is nothing but 2213 divided by 350 by 656. So you get something for this. You can use that and m, and you can find out what is K. So just check whether these things are right. I get 0.344. Okay. So this is what is obtained. And now comparing this and these two, 1020, I have to finish two. So what type of beam is this? Is it a compression failure or a tension failure?
It's a compression.
Once again, okay. So case 0.344 actually compression failure, correct? Yeah, so this is also compression failure. And once again, you'll be actually using the same thing as the previous problem. So you will say that concrete reaches 10. Okay, so concrete sigma CBC and all those procedures. Okay, to find out what is it? Compression is given by half B into KD into sigma CBC, and then you will equate this with FST into AST, which will give you what is FST. Okay, so similar thing. You can just try finishing this off, and so this is the only type of problems that will be coming from working stress method. Okay, so these type of problems where you're asked to, you're given like find stresses or find the load or find the moment, and okay, whenever you're given such problems where you say that where the beam dimensions will be given, dimensions will be given, reinforcement will be given. So these things will be given, and you'll be asked to find sum of this. So these type of problems are known as analysis problems. Okay. When you're asked to do the reverse, where you're given a certain load, saying that for this load you want to make a beam which resists that load safely. So doing the reverse process, this is known as design. Okay. So as far as WSM is concerned, you will be limited only to these type of analysis problems. Only for beams, you will not be dealing with columns or slabs or anything in WSM as a part of this course. The reason being, these days WSM usage is limited, and your code book is mainly focused on limit state method. So almost everything else which will the next class, which is design of beams, design of slabs, design of columns, design of footings, and everything will be through limit state method. But the reason why WSM is still covered is one thing is in GATE exam WSM is still there, at least for beams. So for that purpose, at least you should know what is the concept behind the WSM, all this modular ratio, balance neutral axis, these kind of things and all, transformed section, all these things you need to know. So that's why simple type of analysis problems as covered in this class alone will be asked as far as working stress method is concerned. So this is all that I'm going to do in working stress method. There's going to be, so we are finishing with working stress method. And from next class, we'll start with the concepts of limit state method and the associated problems. Okay, so with this, I'll stop. Try to complete this problem and tell me what you get. So I'll just close this. Okay, so it's about 10:24. Okay, any doubt in the problem?
Sir?
Yeah.
So not in the problem, but related to that cover. So like you told na effective cover and in second problem.
That's what when you start teaching limit state method, I will tell you. See, effect cover you people would have learned in concrete technology, saying that it is a gap between the outer surface of concrete and the edge of your steel reinforcement. Okay, that is the basic cover, but how much cover to take, how do you calculate effective cover and those things, only when I start doing limit state method, I can tell you the code book provisions which says how much cover to take for any given beam or column or those kind of things. See, in concrete technology, have you been taught exposure conditions for concrete?
Yes, sir.
Severe, moderate. So it depends on those things, and it also depends on whether it's a footing or a column or a beam or a slab. So those positions I'll tell you when I come to limit state method. So,
Yes, sir.
So don't worry about that as of now.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Others?
So can you please share this OneNote file?
OneNote. Okay, maybe, but I will share it only at the. I'll see if usually people ask me, but whenever I share it, it becomes very small kind of thing, and I don't think students found it a bit difficult to actually read it. Anyway, I'll share it, but I'll share it only at the end of the unit. Okay, only after limit state method is also covered. Okay, just before your probably before I announce CT or midterm or whatever it is. Just probably a few days before that I'll share it, because otherwise people will not do the problems in the class. Okay, till then OneNote alone I will not share till then.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, fine. I'll end the meeting. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.